Okay, there's been some confusion about the CDL exam since it's the changes that have taken place, and we're going to go through what the changes are for the brake test. So there's a couple of minor ones and there's some very important ones. The minor one is when we do our in-cab inspection, we're going to go ahead and do our in-cab, we're going to look at all our gauges, and we'll go ahead and look at the air gauges and make sure that when it's running, that it has gone up, the gauges are coming to the proper level, and that at 100, 120, 125, that the air governor will kick off, or kick in, I should say, and that's part of your gauge grade on that. The 85 to 100 buildup is not part of the test anymore, but you're welcome to do it because it's a good thing to kind of get used to saying. So once we know that, then we're going to go ahead and we'll start our brake test, and there's basically 5 parts. There's the parking brake, the service brake, and then the last 3 things that we'll go through are huge. You're going to go ahead and check for leaks, you're going to check for the buzzer and light, and you're going to check for the pop-out valve. Those 3 things are huge. If you don't get all 3, you have an automatic fail, which is not good, and we want to avoid that. So we'll go through that. So the first part is we're going to go ahead and release the trailer brake. We're going to check the parking brake, which is the yellow one out here, okay? And we're going to go ahead and put it in gear, and we're going to go ahead and tug against the parking brake for the tractor to make sure it holds, okay? And we're going to go ahead and do that, and you can see that it kind of held, okay? And then the next thing is we're going to go ahead and release, Avon calling, we're going to go ahead and release the brakes, the parking brake on the tractor. Make sure the trailer one's off too, because it can pop out. And then we're going to go ahead and pull forward with our hands gently on the wheel and make sure that when we do stop, that the steering wheel doesn't move a lot, okay? And so those 2 are a point, and you want to get those, but these next 3 are huge. You have to get all 3 of these next ones in order to pass, or otherwise it's an automatic fail. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to leave it in gear, okay? And then we're going to turn the truck off and let the clutch out. Now, an important thing to remember is right here is to go ahead and turn the key back on, because you want to make sure that the buzzer and light work when you fan them down, and without the key on, it will not work. And one little tip, that if you do forget this and you start fanning and they don't come on, you can say, I forgot, and you can go back, start it up, build it up, and start all over again. That's okay, and that's acceptable. So we'll go ahead and do that. So our key is on, in the on position. The brakes are off. We went forward, so we know we are, but we're just checking. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and hold the brake in, and we're going to go ahead and check. We're probably the primary gauge to make sure that it doesn't lose more than 4 pounds of pressure, which isn't a lot. We kind of have to guess, but we just say that we wouldn't lose more than 4 pounds in 1 minute. And we need to actually time this. We need to either count out loud or use our watch, because we cannot use our cell phone, because our cell phone, there has been incidents in the past where people have used their cell phones and put their in-cab stuff in there, so we don't want that, so we can't allow that. Okay, so we're going to check for 4 pounds in 1 minute. 1,001, 2, 3, 4, and make sure that it holds, okay? And then once we know that it holds, then we're going to go ahead and lose our air on purpose by fanning. Nice little star there. We're going to go ahead and fan and lose our brake air pressure on purpose by just go ahead and fanning the brakes down, okay? And then it's important that we say what's going to happen before it happens. So we need to say, okay, I'm going to fan my brakes down, and at about 60 pounds of pressure right in here, the buzzer and the light should come on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We're losing our air, losing our air, losing our air. And then you can see here that the light did come on, and if we had audio for the sound, the buzzer would come on too. Okay, so that part we've got. Okay, so we check for leaks, we check for the buzzer. Now we're going to check for if we do lose our air really quickly and we're in an emergency situation, that if it gets down to 20 to 40 pounds down in here, that we're going to have our emergency spring brakes pop out. and stop the truck for us. Now usually the trailer one goes out first, just a little to keep you from jackknifing, but it's important that we go ahead and check for this because we want to make sure it works. So we're going to go ahead and fan it down again. And then this is important because you're really tempted to pull one of those out with your hands, and don't. Let them both go out, even if it goes down to 0 almost. Wait for both of these to pop out. So as you can see, we're waiting. We're still pumping on the brakes, but we're going to go ahead and let these pop out, and you can see that they did. Okay? So then you're done with your brake test. Then you put it in neutral, do a safe start, and build your air back up again. And I hope this helps you. So in review, the 3 things that we want to not forget are that we're going to have it in gear, we're going to have the brakes off, we're going to have both of them off and pushed in, and then we're going to check for leaks, 4 pounds in 1 minute. Then we're going to have our key on, and we're going to make sure that the buzzer and light come on at 60, and the emergency spring brakes will pop out at 20 to 40 pounds. So I hope this helps you. Thank you.